right abusuan like video share mo we for na ono so enya bi entumi enhwe na the standard of living in Ghana baby a o hweye free no ubetumi adropo o comment e de ato ho na yetumi ehunu na mom after the exit from IMF program no Ghana for do na complaining say even kra no ye under IMF kra na nipa do na say documents and figures proclaim say the economy is stable and all that no amanfo asetremu no enhye da enkoyie kra ha adwinye papa na ebi nso ewa adwin bi say the finance minister Dr. Cassell to forcing Ochimupo say obey NDC flag bearer some of the sectors of the governance na here education e dey kika ho nya dia o release funds e dey ma omo mutimi carry out omo duties ne dey kika ho a deputy finance minister lawyer Obi an interview no amanatimi ebi nsem no bi so a enya asem ketu a mepese e begibre na ebekutie bi enso adwenkyere no into comment section.
There are rumors in the public domain. If our boss, Honorable Atoforsen, say because of ne ambition into ne colleague ministers or other critical sectors no or deny one critical funding to implement or more project, agric ministry, education ministry, other sectors edi aba up. What do you say to that, Honorable Deputy Finance Minister?
That is laughable.
Adentia.
Look, if there is anybody or J or Man Ghana ho, na or ye committed, so over boa na or man esumpo mehu pa Dr. Atoforsen. On ye petty. Na there is no way or better say eyi ana eyinti on release sika emodia obia o make a request what budget to move you release mano. And look, the Ministry of Roads and Highways, Ministry of Energy, Ministry of Transport, Fisheries, Ministry of Education, Health, you're releasing a lot of funds to them.
Hey, we are sure.
Yes. May catch wrong say, look, woba ya budget allotment. Ye di obia de amano, obia niwa allotment yes, so the I am found them mano. There is not a single one. Look, by next week, we share budget directors of war MDAs in also, the fiance are prepared media budget.
Yes.
Review, as part of a, we want to look at the implementation of the budget so far, which areas are improving, which areas are SSA. At that meeting, I will put out all the releases we have given to every MDA.
Okay.
Now, I will share with you. Now, who say it is not possible. Say, Dr. Atoforsen Becca said, ministry way. Now, other Dr. Atoforsen president, Anna.
Why have you then allowed for
sir? Ministry of Nisika and the ministry no country president. My president and calling it to order now.
But some ministries in fact. Colleague cabinet ministers maybe in public. I can reference the education minister say teacher for na demonstrations will be can and also more be ya omunko busa finance minister because finance minister and release sika. You've not heard that?
Look, me kaisa me wahana education for be a bad demonstration. I brought one leadership to young office and I'm a day documents extra one. It be a dance and now one cause reason for demonstration. Then they say one health and you recruit one in 2024. Now one year Juma Obekaya were a demonstration sometime last year. And we had the one to payroll so now one arrears are accumulating as a health for Inya 1 day and education for Inya. That was a demonstration. Baha. Make sure one dates are Inya request from each of the ministries for the payment of the arrears and show them the processes they had to go through and where we were on each of them. The reason why health had theirs before education got theirs a month after. These are so. Of course, there are genuine concerns about a backlog of teachers are yet training one, nurses are yet training one bebreya. Young Timmy and Fawin to payroll. So it is Education Minister Ekasa. Yes, your man of clearance for about is it 7,000 or so? I don't remember.
Yes,
the number.
7,000.
But the numbers are more.
Yeah, he had
cannot accommodate all at once.
He had made a promise, say, on for 50,000, and the moment clearance for 7,000. That is clearly an issue.
So that is true. The payroll cannot accommodate all of them at once. The first group we accommodated was one MPP far one. Now you buy me a far one that I watch there, both education and health. Now one far one to now on clearance I expect. They were not mechanized. They were not put on the payroll. They were about 6,000 each, both health and education. They were the first people we put on the payroll. Yeah, my financial clearance.
Yes.
And I won the one at also. And me recruit one. And we yasama additional financial clearance. These are the truth. Enti yama financial as the economy improves, that space no near more and more. But apart from that, education alone this year, the record I have before me, apart from staff costs, you're releasing about 4.5 billion cedis to the education sector. 4.5 billion, and the details are there. I can share.
Out of a total budget of saying.
I will get the total budget for you. And we are on course. I mean, get fund, capitation grants, all these. We have released 4.5 billion cities.
Yeah, but
and you see,
4 point something billion cities out of a budget of around 20 something billion. No, that's woefully inadequate.
I will get the total budget and let you know. And you see, you compare that to other sectors. Because the budget we prepare in anticipation, say, a billion revenue of X amount.
Yes.
And see, you will get 100% of your allocation if revenue performs 100%.
Sure.
So it is, and so when...
So in other words, revenue performance is not doing well.
To MBAs on quarterly basis. In the first quarter, near releasing, say, Obia there. I know, say, so far, we have done close to 40% of the budget for almost all MBAs.
In other words,
terms of allotment,
in other words,
the allotment, no matter. If you want to obey Unuma, Nefe, Waji Sikano, now they are allotment to make sure, say, MBA way, Yamao. Even though budget you say no, I will bet me spend. Now I watch it. We programs more near there, near priority. I will be now let me aye. So it is never the case at all. Say you deny anybody of me. Say what the request be back me budget more. We cannot accommodate it. What the commitment authorization request back. Now we need budget line. We need funding source for it. We cannot approve it. If you say, "Son, maybe a chairman, you're messing up your economy."
Okay.
So Dr. Folsom is committed to prudent management of your education.
Now we now okay, my colleague ministers in now aware. Say we need clear source of funding near there. Approval and releases will not be given. No, we now aware, sir.
So being now where they are, the minister no deny no apa. Obia is supposed to know. So if you don't have budget, you cannot spend.
Yeah, because you see,
we complain, say we inherited arrears and commitments to the tune of make our parliament for year presentation. Yeah, updated 58 billion arrears are inherited. It is all because there was no commitment control. If we continue on that trajectory, that is why we are being prudent, and that is why everybody must cut their coat according to their size.
According to their size.
The essence of commitment authorization, they say, budget. And all these requests are supposed to go through sector ministers. It is a honor the first level we check it. Into the bar now say budget in Niho. Now Dr. Atofo say yes, so we are watch rotary budget in Niho nti yentimi approve sekoya. Ne boni awaya anyway.
Okay. Into na me say I just got this from my production team. In 2026 budget, Ghana allocated 33.3 billion Ghana cedis to the Ministry of Education, representing an 18% increase from the 31 billion allocated in 2025. Around about 33.3 billion, we are almost ending May. Your issue, you're releasing for.
No. You are making a mistake. Okay. That figure includes staff costs, which is the biggest of all these allocations. Seminar compensation budget, account 4.5 billion euro. For we are making 4.5 billion. One goods and services make just fund all those
Okay, then
staff cost and count. So in your staff cost figure at the count power, we have gone way above a year.
Okay, that
because
I think that's
allocation to education. All payments to education, all payments to health, all payments to fisheries, they are there. Staff costs, any idea in our budget.
Okay.
Into this figure does not include compensation. And no crown any casino.
It's only 33.3 billion.
And only conversation and can pay those.
That's fine.
That's fine. At the mouth.
That's fine.
I didn't prepare.
We can always
come back. Time. Yeah. I can get all these details. Yeah. Total releases to all of the sectors.
Yes.
Now what we say. I so far so say, there is something we call budget credibility. Nearby, ya state your budget no MDA so ya there as we ya approve the asset budget no more. She say you better release this kama wa no wetin ya yes ana ma. Now mo near me ni mo ne there. Mo bi an small girl ma. And mean we have budget here. Now obia asset. Na nearby, except wish list radio obia wo bebre na so familiar no enti yɛhwɛ sika me afio wo yɛbɛtumi ama wo sei enti kɔ plane sɛ nea wo be use so saa nea ma no enti wo na wo bɛkyerɛ nneɛma a wo pɛ sɛ wo de saa sika no yɛ na wo de request no ba yɛ release sika no na wakɔyɛ enti nneɛma a ɛwɔ budget no mu a we state no ne deɛ Dr. Fonson sɛ yɛnhwɛ ne yɛ release revenue ba maybe or ha yeah the boss ya na eh obi or ha drawdowns of loans via eh na draw down so what to aso na why nti anonom there once you buy what budget no there sika no ja buy ya we aboa
nti meaning say feed Ghana ne nkokon kitten ne sa program ne nyama my releases amomo
yeah releases for in fact I will get those details for all the sectors and their programs. Look, it is a matter of a function of revenue. We have made releases, but we haven't done everything for everybody. It is a gradual process. And look, next time, let me know. We want to discuss budget.
That's fine. That's fine.
And I'll get these details.
That's fine.
And then IMF program.
No. Yes.
No, Pastor, around 2023, are buying FF or IMF for the 17th time. Na Arusana buy the color, some other kaya, na Dr. Atofo I lecture be our UPSA. I think around 2022. And okay, it's a senior economy no airco, and we are MPP managing of INF here where we call IMF. Semi one young to on the floor of Parliament, the former Deputy Minister for Finance. finance nyame ato ne nsa afrɛ no eka sama obi aka we will not go today, we will not go tomorrow. Time now our advice is one conti if it was the ambulance they call IMF in 2023. Now and some will be call IMF in 2023 no. IMF not they did not accept Ghana. They did not want to give Ghana any program. If you said now you're debt not amendment. So we were forced to restructure our debt. And suddenly we are qualified for a fund program. And no the painful haircut and in fact, I'm not saying the same person may carry Ghana for you. But America, Sonia Beya, even where we were in 2022, 2023, where I buy a take decision eventually, even though it was late, we'll take that decision, say, as I say, we'll call IMF, now you call it. Now, yes, I call Bob, we'll say $3 billion, if he IMF call. Now, share of my these 70 years. Now you call IMF program 17 times on average, each time 3 years program. Meaning now you call for IMF bailout. Now not just say capra. Now send American or Sabrino na a car amene or mangana, now you're debt to GDP, unsustainable. Na again nti na ya de cut into India. Na here I say you call IMF no you call it na ya de say IMF as no yes committee to run certain programs. Then you look to me ya nice bill. In fact time I hear call IMF na your gross international reserves almost depleted. And Sika, your dollars, I want na intimate cover even 1 month of imports. Inti, not just say, a hotel no, a many or mangana. Inti, you now support to buy someone called IMF, no one more. Na inti, my high takra. If you say, now a balance of payment situation, no, I a story I na and open America to remind us of where we were and why government was forced to go into the fund program. Fast forward, by 2024, end of 2024, I buy a chairmo a handover. Now, unfortunately, IMF program one Casa Edward Hoko share as no. Now, what I say program no. Now, important targets have been missed. In fact, per IMF program, working program, I was signing up to now. Now, as I say, now inflation ever bottom. It was one of the targets that you're signing up to. Now, so by the end of December 2024, now inflation target as I say is 16%. Now I'm amazing. We ended the year at 23.8%. And the program was derailed. In fact, another important target I am missing at the end of 2024 was non-accumulation of payables. Now, you say, and especially accumulated payables, yeah. And so, yeah, ended the year 2024 with an accumulation of payables to the tune of 45 billion cedis. Into your buy now, I used to kakra. Now, so
but how come after every review, Nana, Sike also release as part of the ECF, no, not IMF release, even when they were missing targets, said they are okay.
Yes, sir, important targets, yeah, were missing. I buy for buy now, as I say, IMF Casa Niama who say, a woman say I missing some of the targets there. Now, so yeah, but yeah, enough reforms are a better say going forward, we will be able to catch up Enti ube sha Dr. Atufos in the Nim Emia Parliament. Emma ya inspire no kete ena ekaye. Now we are legislative to be able to achieve some of the targets, yeah, the A, B, C, D. For instance, your legislative said yeah 1.5% primary surplus. Even though now we hold it down, now obia the nano next year by your den share echo car who parliament. Say finance minister and me one cent and Myanmar Afro send this signal say now Ghana government committed say you better bring it back the program on track. Until we did all these things and within 2025 consistently month on month inflation now every month statistical service at the inflation figures until we committed to prudent financial management, a lot of fiscal consolidation, and collaboration between the fiscal and monetary authorities. It means my year achieve those targets, And by the end of 2025, now story necessary. Now overperforming cry. Na ye asking na owa. And yet inflation on 2025 ya accumulate any arrears. Just say near debt to GDP so it reduce so significantly. Ghana sikano enya holding stabilize sikano. In fact, over Kaya before your first budget, Finance Minister Dr. Atufos in the Yanimia called Makola. Before say that come Makolani a year national economic dialogue. Fred Ghana for I have to adjune mobi achre na adjun. Obia no call Ben Chromo say as I say you stabilize your currency. Obia no call Ben Chromo say as I say a shani the inflation abafem. Ye may and in the 4 acres a year, yes, for Makola. Any market women now, one year economy, no, what I say, one handle, they live it every day. And the practical aspect, and also, it could be in common. Obia, and then the Casa or Makola catcher and say, Adea, as how long it can, the depreciation of the Ghana city. Send over to na city, no to dollar, say, or Chinana, say, into what's rare. Yanshe na yema sidi ninya hode ni yema enyina faako muni na be dia dance se fisa brebeti ne sidi no stabilize sidi no epejaye enya hode ne agina faako a me no etimi predict say exchange rate ni ye say nti ye betimi ya me am na AC sabre ne say wokoto ade a the price expectation of a further depreciation of the cedi into one near into price on cost no say and some of the park of no na dollar na for say no asan be up to so just say now a cool Ghana for and then Sunday money in equipo into back to the IMF program no linear yetimi resuscitate IMF programmer na anka ejiegu emane for the first time ye IMF programmer obi ani age say target aye set ye nya amanabro so that time President Mahama first term also call IMF nibi around 2015 for baby na 2016 MPP also inherited IMF program send ya ne ye by 2025 ye inherited program also
yes
now the another difference they say program now one inherited they went to renegotiate the program and I will extend it for another 1 year apart from renegotiating it. In fact, they also went for waivers because a due time a program ended up. Now targets are asserting the brain now we buso we say Inti nurse so we call IMF for FOG waiver. The story is so different from today. And the programmer you better call for extension, call for renegotiation. Yet to me meet all the targets are young IMF say 1 mile waiver. Into your pass amanabroso. Che young debt to GDP. In fact, now as part of the program implementation, now OHS said by 2034, you achieve debt to GDP ratio of 45%. But because of prudent management, Dr. Atufos in now President Mahama directed INT. Target achieving in 2034, achieving at the end of 2025. We ended 2025 with a debt to GDP ratio of 44.7%, high above the target of Nanka Bravo year program. MPP Abaye Shisha said, was showing 6-7 Myanmar. If they did the year 2034, and Sunny achieve debt to GDP ratio of 45%. Now, so President Mahama Baye, Nindia News, who are Unya, bro, president, and they insist, Papa, or position, no, near to force and air plan. Now, what did the good family and let yet meet that target out. Head of shadow. Media IMF program na Mubisano and the year seen na dear dance say Ghana the best place SSA Obia Ekona Okoyinga.
I mean what painty a beautiful picture. The data supports in seminar or can in terms of stability of the city, in terms of inflation, in terms of debt to GDP and all of that. The curiosity though, NSA, if Yetimi area program meeting all the targets, even ahead of schedule, why have we as a country requested another 36-month IMF program? Yede.
You requested another program. You requested an IMF program, a IMF technical support.
Difference now,
the difference between the ECF IMF programmer used to for 17 times, and then the PCI, Policy Coordination Instrument, for 36 months, different in many ways. Yanko IMF Hose, Yahuachi, Inti Mayestika, na IMF Akase, Siedema Usikadea, Jise Yadoshe program Yase. Na IMF program, I will call you in Sikado. They should be a bread or minor. About with conditionalities. I am a bit me as a look. So I say a mouse, you OBD, if you have some part, and Sunday, no, I start programming. So I say, your mouth program, your way, and now your way to companies be your way, and then you fire whole anchor program be after. Young Ghana, one of the about 190 members of the IMF. They contributed to the fund. IMF, our technical expertise, they can make it available to any country who needs it. And you see a year fund program, Obia means you distinction, you pass it. Says here, you say a number of reforms. Our Ghana ha. Now IMF, you know more year. Now say a person money a year PCI program. Send your day program no. Namo share namo demo stamp siswa. International community no investors ne ade ebejia to mu say ampa Ghana in so say awo ye no area juma. Enti TCI to work with the IMF on young program so that wobeye adansi for ama afufura ewo amanaman ama international community say hey ni Ghana for yeni ya kofie won humam won progress awori yeni won reforms awori yeni niema erekoso ni yanka se yebetimi aka asam na so woka wasam a eya na amanfo nyimi to say ofoforo ebebi adanse na obeka wasam amaw enunti and I say IMF yes I say this policy coordination instrument. And the most important thing is that you see in here IMF figure the IBM. Into to me now we see also MSA say your way. In fact, Uti President Mahama or Kasai maybe a term say this should be the final time we go to the IMF for a bailout. Said the 17th time in 10 do Sonia Ghana, yadi who are share IMF as say for your Bosia, Nabuayan. And then you need balance of payment problems. And then make us say your reserves are hitting all-time high. Your reserves are that $14.5 billion. Yet you are building enough reserves. Now say our state credit rating agency, I can say Middle East, Nkokwa Abba, and Hunsun so Ghana there, Sa Hunsun so no, affected to send ya amount for affected. It may be a term now. How bet here Russia Ukraine war in COVID-19 external shocks there, it will always be there. Maya, say global economy ever affected, and there will always be external shocks. I have to say what they take now pothole and what final so. Pothole was so now final so and yet they are over top pothole. Now so send me a bear affected. It depends on the shock absorbers. So shock what top auto my bet it boom now talk. What it kitchen say at shocks been now so a mubu hop a mubu sissy. Now so shocks and yet to send me I'm really a chairman and shocks and yana. What top auto no pay now tired to and be and fear be a sunny idea. Echemu eto yang wamangara ha Russia and Ukraine echo yepe we say habridia ye say Russia Ukraine war ntimi nyei and now what they say obi ewo Ghana ha what they say President Mahama what they say Dr. Atofosin at the Middle East Iran the US ntokwa aye excuse be say emunti yentimi ntia fees emunti yentimi ye roads emunti yentimi ye eyana and not the resilience yet to me build the our
but I said time is starting, you know, honorable time is starting, you know, relative to fuel prices there it came up. President Mahama said it said the AC on the fuel price ebenya impact
maka say enye dera enye yo maya ye wo ewiase there we be a FM on the global space, you know, it will have an effect on us. Now, so the resilience now, shock absorbers now, you are building into the effect, you know, and yet to send here now, I'm not saying that we will never be affected by global shocks.
Okay.
And yet, then every economy will be affected by global shocks. Now, so one building resilience, I want to build the economic shock absorbers affect what we see bebu. So because Ghana yet maintaining the level of resistance to these shocks and then we are not crying, we are not running around say because of global shocks
okay.
Aba ministry no yin sky ejuma eba be best minister ejuma bia akod minister sin na worusu allotment brofu yaba release bi ankodo. Hey, when we visited Eba Finance Committee,
but to be fair, that could tell releases Hawaii. Also, every ministry, every sector, why releases Amawan?
Go. Sir, I didn't know what's Wobe movie. Na man what the Bamon, she said, but me die, Juma. Echo, when we visited these ministries and the agencies and that,
yes.
Them brofuna our friend commitment authorization. Oh no, go Juma in our Ghana no.
Bono so na wa boy sikasem.
Oh yeah, Kasa. Joe or kasa system ne there SPD e make sure the answer na ubia obey juma no or said all the commitment authorization but just to confirm that it is in the budget one don't prepare on your ministries in finance one sure. It is like ordinarily me will miss cow some of the agencies ko wana wo cow Ghana cylinder manufacturer wana wo cow ena esede wo pedu wo use one bra for commitment authorization na say me the letter dey by why they odi 2 months na enfa letter mam last year gaming my friend NLE the whole year one authorization na what the request for the queen I went to Mini Eric J no ta mini so be on wa bina man ono any IPM no okuyi onu po me message what the the committee authorization wontia what the make di na yanka bi na omo ko yi usika farmer enti obi Mr. the way our economy no manage also paper economy and also pocket economy.
Yes.
And also releases are what do you juma. Release them call catch up him da kun message. Release your allotment
the data before him. Okay, impo there search a education ministry. One goods and services anquity over 4 billion Ghana cedis. Other staff
there okacho there okado we education 4 billion
yes
and ekacho the budget is 33 billion also there 23 billion staff commitment last year 2025
yes
total goods and services ordinary education was less than 30%. What is he talking about this year on can share me the goods and services we are going to have year on percentage of goods and services release awaba sikane nko why and wobu ne tot ministry see na onkoye obi adwuma bibi ankodo country is not going well about world are they in a different world one job brofo na one ka wo me serious because there's nothing happening in this country there's nothing happening there's no release there's no money the ministries are dormant they are collapsing it was onima it's a bisa no say allotment and I do allotment am on na pen afakwe how much of their budgets have they released I was interested in him Orebano and Opa Ochina call him also there or obey data bisande ministry budget and you see last year 2025 the same thing I came yaba parliament yaba more budget ya approve budget no what in the ministry sikane by release all kada it goes alongside with revenue go and check GRA revenue check what's the we meet one revenue target for first quarter go and check so why is he behaving as if the revenue is not coming go and check Ghana Revenue Authority what's the first quarter we meet one revenue target so where is the money why are they not giving money to the sector ministries why is the economy collapsing why are people not feeling it look at the youth unemployment situation in Ghana. One country last.
But he's told you about the new thing the president has sanctioned for them to do. 1.6 billion Ghana cedis every year for the private sector to engineer jobs. What's the next year?
Obi yempe adanko dada adwe. Catch me there may release 100 billion.
$1.6 billion. Private sector boost for jobs.
Them brofui onye sika
2027
as a youth development centered agency or said that what to more catch in there 1 year down the line now good people we train about 200,000 people and has gotten financial support for over 150,000 youth then you can tell me that you are targeting the youth and supporting them the whole of last year I see you 10,000 I come and nipa 10,000 I'm niska for nipa 2,500 youth in Ghana today when you have a youth unemployment of over 4 million are you serious as a country what are you talking about A boy one accident we will give. Brofo no only about brofo.
Na so me hu there. The big push project are all called. So what for mebu na edwumem. One of your roads. Now roads hu ya.
Roads no. So obefi bi. Me no obi na asem. Roads me say capacity building na obemo a predictable future for the youth. Building capacity, putting them in gainful employment, supporting them to be independent. You know, the whole of last year, 10,000 a training. You know, I'm on Sikampo for even 5,000, and that is the agency. You should actually be training over 100,000 to 200,000 people. Then you know that you are bringing down unemployment of the youth strategically with data by 5% every year. It's every name that 20% out of 4 million people have been trained. What is 10,000 to 4 million people? Now, sorry, brofa isika onko misplaced priorities. And yes, big push is going on. I cannot dispute that fact. But how many people are they telling us that it's employing? It's why then what happens next? What goes into the livelihood of Ghanaian youth are you developing a train? It will be, please, one can share atona ninia ampem oh me hu dey say sa ho kire na adoso ne kasa no ombayi ampem pa ni ye nipa nche no ayemre ampem pa na no tena ho no a obubo eyi figures na eyi na oni budget mu ayem farmer ampem pa ni there be obi mesel echo out are yes economy no why is stable yeah another macroeconomic indices inflation 3 cities go to the market and check the cost of living for Ghanaians. Things are not coming down, things are going up by the day. Fuel was 17, what about 12? Iran war says here and 15. There's a global challenge. Pricing all kodu we are syncrophone in some no book one so dokun about 25 cities in the dokun 7 cities. Now so you're 3.5 inflation. Numbers no dorsum. Putting the macroeconomic numbers are too much. It should reflect in the lives of Ghanaians. The living reality is not good. The youth are unemployed. It is not good. Come to my constituency in the western region. People are unemployed. They should tell us the number of opportunities are will create. Ports in order on them. Why may I expand the ports and push even cargo to western region? 2 years down the line, what has happened to it?